Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro show. We cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment. We give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a hell of a show in store for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, we produced the show about 3 days ago. There's gotten a lot of conversation, especially in the independent space. And in that show, I basically said that I am removing LeBron James out of my top 5 of all time. Right? That's what I said. And the reason I decided to do that was because I had finally reached my breaking point with LeBron. I had said LeBron has been number 4 for years now. This one guy's asking me, I never heard you mention that about LeBron James. I'm like, so what you saying? Like, I got to come prove to you that I said that about. If you never heard it, then that's your damn business. I know I said it. You don't believe it, you go find out. I don't got to prove nothing to you. I'm not being subpoenaed here for some information. He's like, well, show me the videos. I'm like, how about you go kick rocks? How about all of that? Right? He's like, you show me the proof where you said. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I'd had LeBron ranked in my top 5, number 4 for the longest time. But as time has gone on, his antics is what has been turning me off. But then something interesting happened when ESPN published an audio of them essentially explaining what the Lakers and LeBron's real plans were for Bronny James. And it was that audio, when I heard that information, that I said, this is my last straw with this guy. So what we want to do now is we actually want to play that audio to give some of the people some context in case some people are wondering what I'm talking about. But before we even get into that audio, today's video is brought to you by our sponsor, Game Time. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace of Major League Baseball, which makes getting tickets faster and easier. For example, I am super excited about the upcoming MLB games. With Game Time tickets, I can easily pick the best tickets for me. I love that I can choose between different deals. I have the option to select the cheaper deal, the best option deal, or my favorite, the flash deal. The flash deal gives me the option to find discounts that I can only find on Game Time. Once I select the ticket I want, I can view my seat. And it's not just restricted to baseball. I can also look for the best ticket deals for other sports like football, the NBA, concerts, comedy, or other theater shows. Included in my purchase, I also have a 24-hour return guarantee, a lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account and redeem code CLNS for $20 off. And remember, whenever you support this sponsor, you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So what I want to do now is I want to quickly play that audio for you, and then I'm going to really come back and get into the show. Take a listen to that there.
NBA eyes will be on that game. And for more on the Lakers, we welcome in our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski. So what are people saying about the realistic expectations for Bronny?
Well, what the Lakers' expectations are is that he'll largely be a G League player, like almost any 19-year-old player coming in the league drafted in the second round. I think what you'll ultimately probably see is Bronny James in the first week of the season on the court with his father in a very, I don't want to call it ceremonial, but it's going to, the eyes of the world will be on that. They'll do that the first week of the season, but there's no expectation Bronny James is going to be in the Lakers rotation. He'll spend a lot of his time playing with their G League team, which shares a practice facility with the Lakers.
Okay, so maybe get the father-son moment out of the way, and then it's on to development. So his father, meanwhile, that's what now we talk about. He opted out of his contract. He's expected to stay a Laker. What do we think his new deal is going to look like?
It's very likely going to look like a max deal, whether that's 2 years, 3 years, whether it has trade veto power in it is still something they're working out. But if LeBron James talked about perhaps taking less money if this Laker team would be able to land a player of impact at their mid-level exception. But he was going to have to take at least $20 million less to do that. I don't anticipate that. That kind of player simply isn't out in the marketplace for the Lakers.
Yeah, and could you imagine even taking $20 million on a contract? I know people say, oh, it's LeBron, why not? But look, nobody wants to do that. So what else do you expect from the Lakers, or what do you expect them to do this offseason?
I think a lot of their moves and what's left are going to be minimum contracts, are going to be some moves on the edges, but there's not a dramatic deal for the Lakers to do out in the marketplace.
So you heard what they had to say there. I want to quickly address something else as well. So LeBron fans have now decided to come up with a new tactic. The new tactic is that, well, why does Dreamerspro have sponsors in his show? Why does he have sponsors in his show? Why is this show always about sponsors? And I'm confused. I'm like, wait, so how do you think this all works? How do you think we pay the bills? I wonder if you guys go to Nick Wright's show and ask him, why does he have sponsors in his show? I wonder if you guys go to Shannon Sharp's show and ask him, why do he have, but of course you don't ask him that question. Because these guys are up there twerking it up and rubbing honey all over their bellies for you, on their belly buttons, and y'all love it. But when you come to me all over, and the irony is that some of these guys would then have the nerve to say, Dreamerspro trying to tear down a black man, but here you are trying to stop a black man from actually running his business. The irony in all of this. But anyway, let me get back to that, because a lot of people have commented. Various content creators have talked about, I think Uncommon Sense spoke about it. I was just watching the show from oh my God, let me get my dude's name right. Sports and Fitness Rants. I was just watching the video. Sports and Fitness Rants. And then I was, who else spoke about it? Michael Jordan, I think, fans are the best or something. They spoke about it as well. So I want to just kind of give you guys an insight into why I said what I said again. I've been listening to Sports and Fitness Rants for some time now. And Sports and Fitness Rants has been bringing up something that I really didn't spend much time talking about, which is the person. He keeps on talking about honor, integrity, the things that you do that reflect your character. He then brought up another point, which he made when he was arguing with Gilbert Arenas on that episode. I suggest you guys go check it out. We posted it on our community if you haven't seen it yet. Where he was like, how can you say that Michael Jordan, or call yourself a Michael Jordan fan, and at the very same time consider yourself a LeBron James fan? And I think what he was asking was, these guys have two different characters, right? Jordan, Kobe have similar characteristics. So how can you be an avid supporter of these guys and then be a supporter of LeBron when they have two totally different personalities and modes of behavior? And I'm like, this man is making a very good point. It's something that I was aware of, but something I never gave much thought to. But this particular thing that he did about essentially trying to use Bronny as a prop to enhance his legacy was the final straw for me. Because I've realized it's more about antics with LeBron than actual substance. It's all about people arguing on his behalf with smoke and mirrors, and Nick Wright and these guys coming up with stupid articles talking about Michael Jordan's steals were fake. And it's all about that instead of the actual things that take place on the basketball court. And LeBron is trying to engineer himself into being considered the GOAT and not doing it based off of his actual accomplishments. That's my issue. This guy, I cannot deal with his antics anymore. I cannot do it. I've also done shows when we asked the question, times when I considered to remove LeBron out of my top 5 before, when I said, how can we make a legitimate argument for LeBron to be ahead of Kobe Bryant, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, who else did I say? I said even Tim Duncan, and all of these guys, when none of them have lost at the alarming rate that LeBron has lost by. None of them. But nevertheless, we find a way to make concessions to move LeBron into the top 5. And that's basically been his whole career, concession. One concession after the other. The first championship, well, he didn't really lose it. It wasn't really his fault. Then the 2011 one, LeBron fans try to act like, well, it happened, but I mean, if you now discount that's what Stephen A said, if you discount the first losses, and you just kept, like, what do you mean if you discount? Then Nick Wright, instead of addressing the law, he was like, well, if you put another player in that position, what would happen? So these guys always try to find a way to Houdini LeBron into the GOAT conversation. And after a while, I'm like, I just can't do it anymore. The antics, the characteristics is what I cannot deal with. Having people in clutch sports constantly going around trying to get people on their payroll, get this guy to represent me, get that guy to represent me, and then have them go out there and say nice things about me. Is this concerted effort to warp the minds of NBA fans? Because they cannot do it on the merits. They can't. They cannot do it. And after a while, I just reached my breaking point. Well, I'm like, I can't do it with LeBron. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. So LeBron is not in my top 5 forever. This Bronny one was and the funny thing was people were responding in that video and they were like, I'm surprised that you're surprised. Like, I thought you would have seen this. And the reason I never saw it because I was like, there's no way LeBron would do something like that to use his own son as a moment to, I'm like, there's no way he would do something like that. And it turns out that's exactly what's, I'm like, no, that's too much for me. That's too much. So from a character standpoint, I can't deal with it. I can't deal with it. But we can also make some legitimate arguments why other players should be ahead of him. We could. We actually could. We can make an argument for Jordan. We can make an argument for Kobe. We can make an argument for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We can make an argument for Tim Duncan. We can make a legitimate argument, and we can make an argument for Magic Johnson, who is in my top 5. We can make arguments for all of these chaps. So to me, man, I'm done with LeBron, man. Y'all can have him. I just wanted to address it because some people, and then one guy said, which is a new one, one guy said I'm being paid by Disney, Fox, and I'm being paid by Disney, Fox, and ESPN. So can you come and show me my yacht that I have parked outside? Can you come and show me my Bugatti Veyron that I have parked outside? How am I getting paid by all these people and I don't have any of those cars? Like, let's stop the nonsense. At least, if you're going to say that, substantiate it with some sensible points. Don't just say, oh, he's talking about them. So they're paying me to trash them. Come on, man. Let's use our thinking caps. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comments and we catch you on the next show. Peace.